Okay. We are still in the traveling. Okay. We are traveling on the World War One. We have discussed what are the causes for the World War One and so on. And later we have a great thing we have done is nothing but we have somewhat across the pandemic condition. It is going to decrease very soon. But some of the scientists say that it is not at all reduced. It is going to have a second phase. Doesn't matter about anything. Don't bother about that one. Okay. Until unless you are safe, you are having your precautions and so on, you are so safe. Okay. Wearing masks, distancing, and sanitation of your hands and so on. It is creates a lot of precaution. Okay. So let us go into our traveling. In the last class, the previous class, I explained that what are the causes that led to the World War One? What are the causes of wars? We have discussed the previous class when we have discussing about World War One, the lesson. Now there is another important thing is left over. The main cause before that when we have another cause also left over for the sake of World War One. Okay, so that is nothing but the entire Europe, because of imperialism and colonialism, it has the entire Europe has went to two main concepts or two main organizations. They are called as triple entity, triple alliance. Okay, why it is happened? It is because of imperialism. It is because of regionalism. It is because of linguistic basis. The entire European countries have been divided into two main powers. That is called as a triple entity and triple alliance. So there are some friendly relationships are there between the European countries. For example, if you take France, Britain, and Russia, they are belonging to one area, and other things are nothing but Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy, and Japan. They are different things. So, coming to only one Asian country have been mingled with the European countries. That is nothing but Japan. Okay. So why the Japan wanted to join in the European countries? Because Germany having a colonies in far east, in the sense Japan. So that is why the Japan wanted to occupy Germany. In order to occupy Germany, Japan wanted to join the European countries. So these are the triple alliance and triple entity. Next thing is that you all belongs to one school, right? Only one school. You are belonging to different areas. When you come as a school, you are only one. There is nothing but St.Aloysius, right? So, in the same way, all the Serbian areas, all the countries which are away from, those who are away from their native countries, they wanted to come together. That is the reason this World War was happened. That the important and immediate cause of World War One is nothing but killing of Duke of Ferdinand of Austro-Hungarian heir by a Serbian. His name is Joseph Princip. Age is 19 years. His age is 19 years. He killed the Duke of Ferdinand in the year 1914. With that one, that is the immediate cause for the World War One. Okay, children. Later, only this killing of one person, and the Germany has supported Austria. Later, the Austrian people having some parts in Germany and Russia also having. So there are war has been waged on the different countries which are nothing but Britain, France, and Russia. So all the they had a war, and very soon it triggered the war into Asian, African countries also, where these countries have a colonies. Next thing is that the war was took place only for sake of only one reason. Remember that, children. Only one reason is nothing but colonialism. See, by seeing the Britain people, the Italian people wanted to have a colonies in Asia and Africa continents, and Germany also wanted to have a colonies. France also wanted to have a colonies. So, because of this reason, the World War was took place. Because they are developing, the Britain is developing, they are getting more and more funds. They are financially strong. So, in order to face the imperialism and colonialism, they have started occupying the lands of Britain and so on. Because of this reason, the World War I was started. So, we'll go into the text. Okay? Am I clear? Yeah. Because I am explaining it is highlights of the lesson. In addition to that one, I am going to explain by reading the textbook also, so that you can able to understand very easily. Okay. So, any other doubts, children, in this one? Because we have given very less syllabus this year. We have given very less syllabus. Yeah. We have finished the raise of armaments, which is in the page number 109. I think so. We have finished, right? Why they have done? Why they have raised? Because of establishment of peace and unity, or peace and calm in the country. They wanted to improve their arms. It is not that one. It is not that reason why they have improved. In order to occupy the other countries by waging a wars. In order to occupy their own countries. In a sense, they have lost before this World War I. There are many wars that took place in the years 1879, 1904. There are Franco-Prussian. Prussia is nothing but today is Germany. The whole name of Germany is nothing but Prussia. So France and Prussia having a wars. In that one, France have lost so many areas, and it was given to Prussia. So in order to get back those things, those provinces, those countries, it has a waging a war against the Russia and so on. As well as Germany also having some parts which was lost to France. It has to occupy. It is nothing but we have in France having a colony in Poland. So some parts of Poland belongs to Russia. In order to get those Poland provinces, Russia have occupied the Poland. So Germany has occupied the Poland. This is what the World War I was doing. Okay. So in order to safeguard their peace, they have a raise of armaments. Next thing is that division of Europe into two hostile groups. Very, very important thing is that hostile groups means, I have told you that one, triple alien entity and triple aliens. Why it has happened? What is the reason to create triple aliens and triple entity? We are going to know about what is those things. What are those things? There are two kinds of states in Europe in the early 20th century. Early 20th century means 1900 to 1950. Okay, it is called as a 20th century. Early of 20th century is nothing but from 1900 onwards, 1900 onwards, up to half of the 19th century is nothing but 1950. In that period, there are two hostile groups have been emerged in Europe. So, what are those? On the one hand, there were single nation states. Single nation state. Only one nation used to be. There is no coalition of provinces. Single states. Okay, single state means there is no coalition. There is no occupation of the lands and getting those things. No. Single nation means powerful nations. Those are nothing but France, Holland. Today we are calling it as Netherlands. Holland is, today we are calling it as a Netherlands. The importance of Netherlands, we have one thing is that the International Court of Justice was situated in The Hague, the capital of Netherlands. Remember this one, children. When you come into ENO, we have 6 organs are there. In that one we have ICJ, IJS, International Court of Justice, ICJ. Okay? So remember this one. Netherlands or Holland. This is only one nation. Remember, single nation countries these are. Okay? France, Holland and Germany, whose nation identities were based on their common language. Remember, children, one nation, one language. One nation, one language. France, Holland, Germany. Okay, these are based on one language speaking. But India we have nearly 185 languages are there. But in which there are some language they don't have a proper script also in India. Okay, so based on their common language and their traditions. If you go to India, if you go to northern India, we have different traditions. Coming to southern side, we have different traditions. Eastern side, we have different traditions, and western side also we have a different tradition. But here in Europe, there are only one language following, and they speak only one language, and they follow the same tradition throughout the country. Throughout the country, in Germany, they have different, same language, same culture. But India, if you go to Delhi or Maharashtra, we don't know what they're speaking also. Even though they speak Hindi, but we don't understand what they're speaking. The slang is different. When you go to Bihar, the slang is different. When you go to Rajasthan, when you go to Uttar Pradesh and so on, we don't know, even though they speak Hindi, we don't have understand the slang. Coming to southern side, we have Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka. See, Andhra and Karnataka having the similarities are there, and Kerala and Tamil Nadu having the same similarities of languages are there. But coming to northern side, they speak Hindi in different slangs. But coming to our own, take Andhra Pradesh. If you go to Srikakulam, if you go to East Godavari, West Godavari, even though they speak Telugu, but the slang is different. Have you observed that one? Okay. So this is what? One nation, one language, one tradition was followed by European countries, especially France, Holland, and Germany. They don't have any other things. Yes, no also. Yeah, here. On the other hand, we have only one tradition, one country. Okay, fine, one language. On the other hand, what happened here? There were imperial states, or called as colonials or colonies. Okay, like Austria-Hungary, they are coalition. Imperial state means they were ruled by the kings. Imperialism is nothing but the countries which were ruled by the kings. They are called as imperialists. Best example is Britain. Till today, the Britain have been administered by the Queen Elizabeth. Okay, imperialistic countries: Austria-Hungary Empire and Russian Empire. The king of the Russian Empire called as a Tsars. C-Z-A-R. Tsars. The king of Russia is Tsar. C7 there. Okay? So, Austria-Hungarian Europe was ruled by the Habsburg dynasty. Remember, underline please. Austria-Hungary Empire was ruled by Habsburg dynasty. Habsburg dynasty. Okay. Of Austria. So the claim is called as a Habsburg, which belongs to Austria. Which belongs to Austria. Remember that one. Habsburg dynasty is from Austria, and which is ruling entire Europe. That is called nothing but called as a Austria-Hungary. Okay. Austria-Hungary ruled by Habsburg dynasty, which belongs to Austria. Okay, so this is a imperial state, and Russia also. Austria-Hungary and Russia also belongs to imperial states. They are under the kingship. They are not given any specific dominion and so on. They were under king's rule still. Okay, but nowadays we don't know anything about those things. Nowadays it is all ruled by the government only, not by the kings. Okay. By 1991, after the 19th century, second half of the 19th century, there was a revolution in Russia. With that one, the Tsar's rule was being demolished or destroyed. There was no more imperial states in Russia. Okay? So, yeah. All of you understood this one, right? Any other doubts? Ishwan? Naveen? Aditya? Pardon? Yeah, please. Okay, fine. I'm shouting like anything there. Okay, fine. Yeah. And this was Habsburg dynasty belongs to Austria, as well as there is a coalition government with Hungary and Austrian imperialistic states. Russia and Hungary, Austria. These are all having the imperialistic things. Next thing is here. Serbia is nothing but it is southern side of Russia. Serbians, they were so arrogant people actually. Because they were taken away by the other countries. They have been occupied. They have been taken away by the other country people. But they wanted to have only one nation. They wanted to come. All these Serbian speaking language people, they wanted to come together. So, for that sake, they have started a revolution. Because of the Serbian revolution, they wanted to come together. They have killed the Duke of Ferdinand. Okay, that is the immediate cause of the First World War. So, we are going to discuss that very soon. Serb, Bosnian, and Croat population. These are the areas now. Serbians, Bosnians, and Croat. These are the specific province names. They have a population who spoke different languages. But they can understand it. Okay. They have different culture, different languages, different cultures. Whereas, on the other hand, only one language, one tradition. But here, imperialistic states, as well as a different language speaking people and different tradition followed people also there. Okay, fine. Germany entered into an alliance with the Austria-Hungary. Remember, Germany entered with the alliance means friend relationship with Austria-Hungary. In the year 1882, Italy joined the alliance and become a it came to known as a triple alliance. So here comes our topic, triple alliance. In this one, the triple alliance consisting of first thing is that Germany, okay, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. This was happened in the year 1882. Triple alliance consisting of Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. The Triple Alliance established in the year 1882. Remember, children, those things. Okay. Sometimes the ICSE board may ask you write a short note on Triple Alliance or Triple Entity for 3 marks and 4 marks. Maybe they'll ask for 2 marks only, short answers. Okay. So Germany, Austria-Hungary, remember children? Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy. So, at the end of the day, at the last, Italy has joined in a triple alliance. Starting from Germany, Austria, Hungary. Actually, these should become first. Austria-Hungary, Germany, and Italy. This is the hierarchy of joining into the triple alliance, which was established in the year 1882. Okay, Shiglan, any other doubts in this one? Okay, fine. After the death of Bismarck, so who is this Bismarck? A great leader in Austria. A great leader in Austria. So, after death of Napoleon Bonaparte, all of us know about him. Long back, I think we have read about Napoleon Bonaparte and so on. So, he was a great ruler, Napoleon Bonaparte. It is said that about Napoleon Bonaparte, he belongs to France. Actually, Napoleon he was taken birth in Austria. Due to some reasons, some Cold War which was took place in Austria, so their family have been shifted to France. So after he had grown up, he wanted to join the army. He's having a height of 4 feet, this much. But see, when he entered into the war as a soldier, the France have been suppressed by the other countries. And he waged a wars. He fought with the enemies and so on very courageously. And he used to win the victories over the wars and so on. He became a admiral. Later, he became a ruler of France. So there is a comment is given to France on the basis of Napoleon Bonaparte. Says that if France ceases, entire Europe will get fever, it seems. If France sneezes, entire Europe will get a fever. That is the impact of the Napoleon Bonaparte in Europe. So after death of Napoleon Bonaparte in the island called as St. Helena. So this Bismarck have come into the map picture, and he ruled Austria because Austria was being occupied by the Napoleon Bonaparte. Next thing is that it's first time in the history of Europe, Italian unification was done by Napoleon Bonaparte, as well as German unification also done by the Napoleon Bonaparte only, because he is the person who made the entire Italian speaking people into one place, as well as the German speaking people into one area. So, leave that one. After death of Bismarck, he is a great leader in Austria. there are some changes have been made in Austrian country. So, after death of Bismarck, France was able to establish a friendly relationship with Russia. Till that time, before the death of Bismarck, France was like a cunning fox. After death of Bismarck, it has started to have a relationship with the France. So after death of Bismarck, France is starting to have a friendly relationship with the Russia, not with the Germany. Okay, and England. The Russian Empire included territories populated by Polish. Polish means Poland, Ukrainian, Ukraine, Turkish, Turkey. Today we are calling it as the Turkey. The previous name is nothing but Constantine. Constantinople. The Turkey's whole name is. Okay, Turkish and Mongolian population. Mongolia. So they started to have a relationship with the other country people also after death of Bismarck. So here, France having a relationship with the Russia and after death of Bismarck. Not only to them, but also they have started to have a relationship with the Poland, Ukrainian, Turkish, and Mongolians. So, all of us have to concentrate on this one. France, after death of Bismarck, they started to have relationship with the Russia as well as with the Britain. And all these people are supporting these people. Poland people, Ukraine, Turkish and Mongols. They are supporting because these are having some colonies in these areas. These countries, France, Russia, Britain, having some what you call their colonies, they have established colonies in these areas. That is why they are supporting these countries. Okay, so the three countries centered into triple entity. What are the three countries? France, Russia, and Britain. So we have two hostile countries, two hostile powers. What are they? Triple alliance: Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy. Later, triple entity: France, Russia, and Britain. Next thing is that after so many years, Japan also entered into triple entity. Japan also entered into triple entity. Okay. So, in 1907, to counter the triple alliance, later Japan joined triple entity. Thus, Europe was divided into two hostile camps. Because of this thing, triple alliance and triple entity, there are two countries. Yeah. I'm going to ask some simple questions, okay? Fine? Ask to wake up. Not you, rather this fellow. Are you here? Are you here? I don't know. Subramaniam is here. Okay. Ashwin. Which country is having one nation, one country? Germany?
Austria, Hungary.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Nathan, what do you call? Rakesh. And Rakesh. Okay.
Sir, it
Okay, fine. What are the imperialistic states? What are the imperialistic states? What are the imperialistic states? I mean to say, easy way explanation. What are the countries are under the kingship? I can't give you more than this one. The clue. What are the countries which are under the kingship? Yeah, Ashwin?
Britain, Russia, sir. Russia, Britain,
Yeah,
France.
yeah.
Polish, Turkish.
Imperialist states, Austria-Hungary and
Russia.
Germany. Sorry, Russia. It's a jars, right? So these are the imperialist states. So, sit down. Which country have joined into triple entity at the end? Which country have joined at the end into the triple entity? Yeah, I said not, I'm not saying about Italians, I'm saying about triple entity. Yeah? Confusion question, sir. No, man.
Japan, sir. Japan, sir.
Yeah, it's Japan. The last country entered into triple entity is Japan. Okay? Sit down, boys. We are just listening to like a story. I think he is going inside. Okay, fine. So, with this one, we have seen there are two hostile powers in the sense two organizations have been established due to the countries. One is one country, one nation countries are there, they are different. And imperialist states and those who are having a colonies having a another side. There is nothing but triple entity. Triple aliens and triple entity was there. Yes.
Italy came to last.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Britain, see, the main reason for the World War I here. Britain had created a vast British Empire by acquiring colonies in Asia and Africa. Remember, children? Britain have got vast empire by establishing the colonies in Asia and Africa. That is why in Telugu we have one proverb is that coming to the Britain about the Britain. Ravi Astavinchen British Samrajyam. They called as there is no the empire which does not have a dawn or sunset. Because everywhere we go, there we have a colony of British. For example, Australia, the first sunrise will be there. Because in the summer we celebrate Christmas in Australia. Okay, and coming to the Japan, Japan also is a colony of Britain. Okay, New Zealand also. Coming to Africa, America, North America and South America, they have established their colonies, and the biggest market is India. Okay, everywhere, in every continent, they have a colonies. So, Britain have established their vast colony, or they have created a vast empire throughout the world by establishing colonies in Africa and Asia continents. So, by looking these things, by seeing the development of Britain, what happened here? It grew rich from its success in trade in the foreign resources. So, Britain used to get the resources from the colonies and become very rich. Britain become very rich. So, set up. Okay. In trade and resources. Why I call you? Why I make a stand? You got the answer, right? Yes. That's fine. Markets, territories, and the people. Other countries of the world, like Germany, other countries like Germany and Netherlands, Holland, and Italy and USA also wanted to establish their colonies in Africa and Asia. See, not only European countries but also the colonies which got independence from Britain, they also wanted to have colonies in Asian Africa. Why I said the colonies which also they have got the independence from Britain, nothing but USA. USA once upon it is a colony. After 1776 July 4th, they got independence from Britain. So they also wanted to have colonies in Asia and Africa. Netherlands, Germany, Italy, USA also wanted to have colonies in Asia and Africa, not anywhere else. Why only those countries, right? Because they have so much of manpower, they have so much of what you call, they wanted to establish their industries. Why those countries only means they wanted to establish what you call industries. For the sake of industries, they need a labor, resources, raw materials, all these things they need. Basically, for all these things, they need only one thing is that labor. For example, if you long back, we have a movie called as 20 years ago, a movie is I have quoted that case. If you go to the 7th standard, 6th standard history, they are fighting for the labor. In the Abraham Lincoln story we have, the American Civil War we have, right? In that one, North American people, they don't want anything because they have established the circumstances, situations are favorable to establish industries. Whereas southern side of North Africa, North America, they need a labor to work in the fields. So they came to South African or African countries. They used to take these labor as slaves in order to serve in the fields, in order to work in the fields. Okay, so they got immense of manpower, they got of resources and everything was there in Asia, in African continent. That is why every country of the world, especially Germany, Netherlands, Italy, USA, wanted to establish their colonies in these countries. Okay, sit down, boy. Okay, this led to a scramble for colonies, therefore rivalries and wars. Because of this reason only, in order to establish, in order to gain economic development or riches and so on, they wanted to have wars. And this situation is a scramble the entire European countries. So there was a rivalries and wars. Because of one thing is that imperialistic state and colonies and so on, in order to develop, in order to gain more and more power, more and more riches, they got wars and so on. For example, take today's world. Take today's world scenario. Yeah, it's a controversial statement I'm going to give you. Controversial statement. Okay. How many of you have gone to other online classes? Any other classes? They'll give you to buy only Dell laptops. They'll advise you to purchase only the Dell computers because the Dell companies belongs to Microsoft. Okay, and many other things is nothing but there are some countries are there. They wanted to gain more power than other countries who are supreme powers today. For example, China wanted to gain the power over USA. That is why they said that I don't know anything about that controversial statement, and they wanted to suppress America and so on. They want to gain power over America and so on. Okay, it's a controversial statement actually is. And remember children, till today, about 5,000 crores have been, the crores of mobiles have been purchased by entire world for the sake of online classes. You know that, no? 5,000 crores of mobiles have been purchased. In that one, 76% of the mobiles from China. 76% of mobiles are from China. So why all these things? In order to get economic development, in order to get the riches, there comes rivalries and wars. Am I clear, children? Any other things? Any doubts? Yeah. Last we go. There is a lot of time is there. But, I don't think so. Okay. Rivalries between nations happen not just for colonies but for the colonies' trade and trade routes as well. So, I just go out from this topic and come back again. Okay, all of us know that there were no trade routes after 15th century to India. Am I clear, children? There were no trade routes to India by road. By road, there was no trade routes till 15th century. Till 15th century, mean to say, before the 15th century, there were land routes were there to India from European countries as well as the Central Asian countries also. Because of that reason only, Arab people have came to India, they have trashed our entire immense of resources and they have established their own kingdoms here. It is certainly, okay, it is certainly Mughal Empire from 702 AD to 1857. 702 AD to 1857, we are under foreign rule. As the Delhi Sultan established the emergence of Islam religion in India by 702 AD, and the death of second Bahadur or Bahadur Shah II or Muhammad. So he is the last empire of the Mughal dynasty. So till that one, we are having the Mughal rule in India. Am I clear, children? So here, but by 1453 there was occupation of Eastern Roman Empire, which is today we call it as a Turkey. Eastern Roman Empire, which is having another name is Constantinople, which was named after the great king called as a Constantine. So the Constantinople was reached its peak when the France and Britain were a small race. So they were a small stage as a village stage. The Constantinople was reached its glory and art and architecture. But it was occupied by the Turkish wars by second Muhammad, and with that one, the land routes have been closed. So in the year 1458, they have started to have a trade routes to other countries. In order to find the new world, in order to know what is there around the world. So they have started for the sake of trade routes and sea routes in order to search what is there. So Columbus went to North America. America Vespucci went to South America. Okay, and Vasco da Gama came to our India. And there are Captain Cook went to Australia. So there are so many things were there in order to know what is there around the world. And for this sake also, these rivalries and wars took place not only for the sake of colonies, for the sake of trade goods also. So when the Britishers came to India, India like two cats on one mountain. We used to fight with each other for the sake of power. They wanted to occupy the other lands. Even though they are Indians, they wanted to occupy the other lands. So there were wars in the provinces and so on. So not only this one, not these wars that took place, not only for the what they call colonies, for the sake of trade goods also, these wars have been occurred. Now, coming to our lesson, rivalries between the nations happen not just for colonies, for colonial trade goods as well. Trade goods means sea routes, for the sake of goods, trade goods also. Yeah. Just example.